The Model Y became the best-selling car in Europe in September, and not just among electric vehicles either. The Model Y is now number one across all drivetrains and segments. As a Model Y owner myself, I couldn't help but wonder, what's going on here? Can this success story last? Is this sustainable? Let's talk about this. Stay tuned. Tesla sold more than 29,000 of the Model Y in September in Europe and took the crown from Peugeot 208 and Renault's Dacia Sandero. I almost can't believe this is happening. During my time at Nissan just a few years ago, every time I would start talking about electric vehicles, I would get the same old look from people and they'd say, "Oh, that's interesting," with a lot of skepticism, of course. But now it's finally happening. And even more interesting, the Model Y is much more expensive than the other two contenders. The Model Y starts from £51,000 in the UK. For that budget, you can literally afford to buy two Peugeot 208s and one Dacia Sandero. Free cars! Once again, what is going on here? Are people in their minds? Well, there are a couple of technical explanations, of course. Let's discuss them first, and after we can talk about fundamentals. To begin with, there has always been a deferred demand for Tesla in Europe. But now, production at Tesla's Berlin plant is ramping up. At the end of September, the Berlin Gigafactory was able to produce 2,000 Ys per week, and the target is go up to 5,000 in the short term. Undoubtedly, this significantly increases availability and improves waiting time. Tesla tends to push sales and deliveries at the end of the quarter. Look at this chart provided by Tesla in the Q3 report. This repeating pattern shows an overutilization of outbound logistics at the end of each quarter. Now, let's not be naive here. All car makers do that to please Wall Street. But Tesla's volatility is much higher for two reasons. Number one, Tesla is growing much faster than the legacy car makers. Tesla's automotive revenue increased by 55% in Q3 year-over-year, which technically makes it even more difficult to deliver high volumes at the end of each quarter. Number two is Tesla direct sales approach. By eliminating dealers from the equation, Tesla simplified operations. Because of that, it has much better control over deliveries, so it takes the same effort to push sales and deliveries, which results in a more impactful outcome for Tesla compared to the legacy car makers. However, there are still several downsides to this approach. One is pretty obvious: congested logistics channels at the end of each quarter and increased costs accordingly. Every car maker knows this, but it's a very high risk for the OEM executives' careers to challenge the current status quo. An attempt to do that may result in just losing a well-paid job. Well, looks like it's less of a risk for Elon Musk, as Tesla has declared a plan to transition to a more balanced and smoother delivery pace. Essentially, the intention is to normalize this curve and reduce the delivery cost per vehicle. This may not sound like a big deal for regular people, but it's almost an automotive industry revolution driven by common sense. So, there you go. Two factors that helped the Model Y to become the best-selling car in Europe in September, but fundamentally, we still need to look at the bigger picture. The Model Y is fully electric and it's very expensive. I've lived in Spain and France before, and I can reassure you people in Western Europe are very price-sensitive and careful with their spending. So, how come they're suddenly willing to pay $60,000 for an American electric vehicle? As a Model Y owner, I'm genuinely happy to see that I made the right choice a year and a half ago. I'm very happy with the Model Y because I have access to a wide and reliable charging network and can truly enjoy the digital ecosystem Tesla has created. A lot of people would say there is nothing really revolutionary in what Tesla is doing, but the truth is that the real revolution is in the thousands of little improvements Tesla makes at each step of designing, engineering, manufacturing, and selling its products. For example, the full process of ordering a Tesla online can take just a few minutes, and when it's ready, it will be delivered to your door. And it is just one example of Tesla's revolutionary approach among many others. For me personally, the Model Y's 7-seater option was a game changer. However, for others it might be the autopilot function or the exceptional audio quality, for example. What's your favorite feature? Please let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, the car is still very expensive, and Tesla is making almost 30% automotive gross margin on it. The fact that the Model Y is #1 in Europe just tells me that the market is broken. The legacy car makers missed the point with electrification and connectivity and are still not in a position to catch up. Hence, we are seeing more and more electric vehicles in the market, but there is a clear deficit of affordable and capable electric vehicles. New car makers such as Lucid and Rivian are adopting the same business model which worked so well for Tesla. Start from expensive and more profitable segments and then slowly add more affordable vehicles. However, the legacy car makers have that advantage and an opportunity to democratize electric mobility, which they are not using properly. We saw how well the MG4 EV was received in Europe. I believe there is much more room for EVs like this in Europe and the US, but I'm afraid that Tesla will still be the main brand to benefit from this market inefficiency by introducing the Model 2. What do you think? Let me know, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Bye.